Cody then thinks that he wants the belt. The Rock says, no, I don't want the belt. I just want your soul. Cody's like, okay. This was like the first time in a few years where I felt like, this thing's on the way down, dude. Like, nothing on this show when I was watching it felt like, oh man, we're building to something big here. Tell them that they're paid by a con. We did go to Granny's old folks home. If you want to see how fast Granny's wheelchair can go, when she flew down that hallway and then just started cackling.
The cackle is what made it.
Yes. Beast Mortos and Hologram. They followed the Tony Storm, Mariah May segment where the crowd was absolutely, completely dead. By the time this match was over, they were alive. They were cheering. If Tony Khan announced that he had a huge announcement, we are going to become a full-time American Lucha Libre promotion, I would be happy. These fans really like Lucha Libre.
They do.
That is the one thing that you're going to get on AEW that you're not going to get in NXT. You're not going to get it on Raw, SmackDown. You're not going to get it on Impact. Straight up, crazy Lucha Libre. This was fucking great.
Chris Jericho versus Bandito for the Ring of Honor Championship.
This match.
There were please retire chants. And then 10 minutes later, the exact same crowd was chanting, this is awesome. It was much better than anything on SmackDown. A 3-hour show. I'm not sure there's one segment on this program that I would say rose to the level of being good.
This was not just a show that was too long. It was a show that was too long and also fucking sucked.
It had gone 30...
Even if this had been 2 hours,
thank you,
it would have fucking sucked.
Yes.
Well, there was that Rock promo in the middle. It was pretty darn good.
That may have been 2 hours.
It was?
It was entertaining.
I thought it was great.
God damn, this fucking thing sucked. It all sucked. The promo sucked. The match sucked. The booking sucked. The finish sucked. And where it's going sucks. It sucked.
It's worse than that.
I don't think so. She does a Saturday Night Live parody of Pointing to the Sign. The most overdramatic. I can't even do it. I can't even do what she did. You gotta, go back and watch Charlotte point to the sign. You will die. I hated this show. Hated this show.
Braun Strowman congratulates Priest on winning last week, but I'd have pinned Jacob if it hadn't been for Solo Sikoa. And Dana says, well, you're starting to sound like Drew McIntyre with all the excuses. And they both go, ha, ha, ha!
Thursday, The Rock decided that he was going to be on this show.
Yeah.
And in storyline, he is the most powerful man in WWE. Mm-hmm. And in real life, he is the most powerful man in WWE. Yeah. Well, that means you have to rewrite the whole fucking show and shuffle things around and cancel things. And then this guy shows up and he does whatever the fuck he wants. And the answer to whatever the fuck he wants is, I don't have any fucking idea. He's doing this babyface promo, and then all of a sudden he's like, hey, I'll knock the herpes off your face or whatever, some random fan. Like he's Ric Flair. Yeah. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, dude? Cody then thinks that he wants the belt. Mm-hmm. The Rock says, no, I don't want the belt. I just want your soul. Cody's like, okay.
My best guess would be that they're just going to rehash Austin McMahon with Cody Rhodes playing the millionaire underdog champion. And Dwayne playing the evil billionaire.
You're giving so much more than you're going to get out of this dude.
I'm sure I am.
He just signed for a new film. He ain't going to be around on the show playing Mr. McMahon every week. This was like the first time in a few years where I felt like, this thing's on the way down, dude. Nothing on this show when I was watching it felt like, oh man, we're building to something big here. Oh my God. Yeah, we're late. What, I can't hear you now? No. Why can't I hear you? Who's here?
I am.
I can't hear you?
You can't hear me?
God damn it. Hold on. We had a windstorm yesterday.
And this morning.
Power got knocked out.
2 separate storms.
In this neighborhood only. All right, we're going to try and call Craig. Yeah. See if we can do this. May as well do it on the air, right? People seem to like that sort of thing.
Behind the scenes.
Do I remember Craig's number from back in the day?
Has Dave been having issues too?
Yeah. But I mean...
No, I meant...
more than usual.
Should we use this one or should we use the landline?
I don't have a landline, Brian. It's 2025.
Oh. So you still can't connect?
No.
What are you doing wrong, Craig?
Did you lose power?
I woke up.
Granny, what have you got today?
I run across this and I thought it was going to be good. WrestleMania 32. Sting versus Undertaker.
Oh, really?
How
I
long
can't wait for this
ago?
review.
Stung won. Or Sting.
Stung one?
Sting stung him. Let's put it that way. Okay?
Sting beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I knew it.
I was surprised. I
too.
gave that a 7.
Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Sting?
This was WrestleMania 32, is that what you said?
Sting versus Undertaker?
At WrestleMania. You're just now figuring this out?
I actually am. Were they moving in kind of a herky-jerky fashion?
Are you suggesting they're puppets or stop motion?
I'm suggesting it's a fucking video game, dude.
That doesn't sound right.
Granny.
No, it
Granny,
was not.
You're welcome to get mad at me. I will accept it. I will admit I'm wrong sometimes, like when
It wasn't really a match.
they have never wrestled each other.
I give up.
What do you want me to do?
I usually recognize those.
Okay, Granny,
things.
listen carefully, okay?
I don't care.
That's
Which of
Sherman.
the following cities is in the Eastern time zone?
Is there like a list and then we can say which ones, or do we just have to start rattling off
I know
85
several.
cities?
New York City?
Miami.
No, I'm not going to give you a...
Dude, Granny, there's literally
Wait a
Boston?
minute.
at least 500 cities that are in that time zone.
Well,
Bangor, Maine?
That is all women and young ladies, teenagers, high school age, losing their absolute minds.
It's like the Beatles are wrestling.
yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's what
They're
it
just
is.
going absolute crazy. They're practically weeping. They must get their hands on Ricky and Robert. They must touch the mullet. And then the camera pans back, and behind them is a row of all their husbands and boyfriends, arms crossed, slumping. They just know we're never getting laid again. There's no hope for us. MJF actually appears. Oh, and you should go check on your friend, Christopher Daniels. They cut to him a half a second too early because he is still punching himself in the forehead, desperately trying to get even more blood to come out.
Oops. Guys who have been main eventers in WWE, who are now in AEW, understand that some matches can be 50-50, and some matches shouldn't be 50-50. And other guys, they always want to go out there and have a banger. And Will Ospreay is one of those guys.
Clearly.
He's not on the indies anymore. Now he's in AEW. He still has it in his head, I must go out there and have a banger every single time out. And I love Brian Keith, but it didn't need to be a banger here. Like when we were kids, if you wore glasses, you were a geek. And this guy's fucking managed to pull off the glasses and turn himself into a total geek. And they just hate this guy. And fuck, dude. Where's this guy been all my life? WWE and TNA, for example. A production meeting means everybody gets in a room and they go over the show from start to finish so everybody knows what's going on. They all do it together in the same place at the same time in the same room, okay? Tony's production meeting is, I'm going to meet with Mike Mansory, and we're going to go over everything. Then I'm going to bring in Daniels, and I'm going to talk about his segments, and then he's going to leave. Then I'll call in whoever, Madison Rain. We'll talk about her segments. She'll leave. That's his production meeting. He calls people in one at a time over the course of the afternoon. So that's where this whole thing is. And honestly, I think he should do production meetings like WWE and TNA do it, because everybody should be able to look and see, okay, here's what's happening during the show. Do we have something repeating here? Like, should we make sure that so-and-so knows about this or that or whatever? But this is the way that he wants to do it. So this is his production meeting.
Orange Cassidy versus Konosuke Takeshita for this international title. What a great fucking match this was by everyone involved.
Who is going to beat Jon Moxley? The idea is that it should be an original. An AEW original beats Jon Moxley. God fucking damn it, I watched this match and I was like, I wouldn't be angry if it was Orange Cassidy. This fucking guy is so great. And granted, he's in there with Takeshita, who is also great. Mm-hmm. But name the last bad Orange Cassidy match. Name the last Orange Cassidy match that had no heat. Name the last Orange Cassidy match that didn't get over like a fucking... This match was like... I mean, it was so good that the show ended and I was like, that was the best Dynamite I've seen in I don't even know how long. And really, it actually wasn't the best Dynamite, but goddamn, this match was great.
Live from Cincinnati, Stephanie Vacour versus Carmen Petrovich, a really cool venue. Had like the stacked levels. It looked like a modern version of the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Every time she rams Carmen's head into the ground, Booker goes, ah! And of course, it happens like 10 times. And at the end, Corey says, we need to get Booker a cigarette. Mm-hmm. And you can see the announcers because of where they shot this from. And fucking Booker lost his shit. He had to mute his mic, and he turns away, and he is howling at this line. It was incredible. As always happens, I talk about something, and it goes all over the internet with all these headlines that are not exactly what I said. One of these women is banged up, okay? Now, all over the internet, it's reporting injured. And, I mean, if she were, like, injured, they're not going to let him do a match in 2 weeks. But she's banged up. And there's also an issue, and this has come up with several people, where visas need to be renewed.
Yeah.
And so, essentially, for both of those reasons, one of these individuals is going to be off TV for a while, and thus they had to get this match quick.
Gotcha.
This was the best Lexis King match I've ever seen. And I don't want to take anything away from Lexis because he did a great job in this match. Yeah. But goddamn, this fucking moose is such a great moose.
Oh, yeah.
And it also really made you want to see Moose and Obafemi.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
This was like a perfect match in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Roxanne narrowly avoided getting her knee torn out because she got her knee caught between the top and the middle rope trying to escape. Yeah. And Jordan had to pretend to beat on her while also freeing her.
While also keeping her top on.
Yes.
And as she noted online, Roxanne should thank God I have a rule against kicking someone's ass with the girls out.
So these fans are chanting, "You're not Randy" at Miles. He said, "I'm not Randy. He hears voices in his head. I can't hear shit." There should be an award in the Observer Awards for best tweet.
That is fucking funny. Main event here, Wesley and Ethan Page versus Javon Evans and Ricky Saints. It's one of those things, you watch NXT and you think, man, some of these people are better than those, but they're all pretty good. And you see an actual polished pro wrestler and you realize how green everyone else in the show is. Ricky looked many levels above everyone else in the show. Looked quite great. Yeah, Saints look great. There is a Tony fumble chant, which made me laugh.
The story of this show, this main event, was it's Ricky Saints' debut. And he faced two longtime heel vets, teamed with Javon, and he won. Mm-hmm. He celebrated, and that was all he needed. And this was the best NXT show in a long time.
Mm-hmm. I would say the best the both shows have been in years.